And Walter Hillegas.
Okay. And you said you were a first responder at the 9/11?
That's correct. At the time of the World Trade Center tragedy, I was an apprentice plumber from September 12th to September 16th. I volunteered here at the World Trade Center site. You know, on bucket brigades, debris removal, you know, whatever was required of us at the time. So.
And you're down here for the Occupy Wall Street protest.
That's correct.
You want to tell me a little bit about why you're down here?
From my purpose of being down here essentially is because I have been fighting a battle to get workers' compensation and Social Security disability. However, with every turn that I've tried to make, I got declined for both. I got declined for food stamps. I'm having a hard time paying my rent. I've been out of work because of this condition called sarcoidosis, which is autoimmune disease of the lungs. My unemployment, unfortunately, isn't covering it anymore. I've been having to rely off of my family and my friends for money and to help me pay for my medical expenses. You know, down there, a gentleman's watching my bag. I have a container like this of prescription medicines. Though I do have the World Trade Center medical monitoring benefits, they are limited as to what they cover. Certain medications that I take, like X-Forge, which is for high blood pressure, oxycodone, or Percocet as it's known. I take that because of the muscle and joint pains I get in my legs and my back, you know, my shoulders, etc. So most of those things aren't covered. I do have my union benefits, however, because I've been out of work for so long, I will more than likely lose my benefits unless they extend them for me. So I'm in an extreme predicament right now, and I'm reaching out to anybody that can help, basically. So when I found out about this and the purpose behind it, I decided to join in as well.
So you see the influence of Wall Street as being directly related to that?
I would have to say very much so, because my life, everything with myself and other first responders that are in my position, especially, you know, for those who even have worse conditions than I do, everything is revolving around finances and money. Like I aforementioned, you know, in this interview, I can't afford to pay my rent. I also have my living expenses, food, utilities, etc. And with that big box of medications down there, I can go through every single medicine that's in there and how much they cost if I were to pay for it full price. Though, like I said, I do have the basic World Trade Center benefits, but that's a finite system that's in place. That's only there for 5 years. Once that 5 years is over, and if I don't get something coming to me soon, I won't be able to afford any medicine, period. And if that worst case scenarios, I might have to force myself to go back to work, which I can't do, because if I do that, I'm risking my health again. So you can imagine I'm in a very tough place right now.
How do you feel about the Congress, especially's hesitance to pass the 9/11 responders bill in any significant fashion?
We have, I really can't speak for any first responder, you know, I can only speak for myself. I'm completely frustrated. I'm disappointed, first off, for anyone to even question the fact that we all got sick. Christy Todd Whitman obviously is the one who should be held accountable for everything that's happened. She was the head of the EPA at the time, and she came down here and swore to every first responder and everybody that lived here in this area, the air is fine. Obviously, it's not, because 10 years later, I wouldn't be standing here with growths in my lungs and this on my leg. If you guys can see that, I wouldn't have that on my leg. So, what does that tell you? Now, I have all the proof in the world, and I have tax forms, letters of commendation, time, place, and dates of what I was down here and what exactly I did. All of this in mind. 4 doctors have said I was diagnosed with PTSD, to sarcoidosis, this, pains. Everything says I was here, I got sick. Now the final question is, what? Okay, now what? And I'm losing. So.
You said you were also a member of Anonymous?
Yes, sir.
How do you feel like that group? I guess what I'm trying to get at, it's a little odd combination to me. I mean, I don't mean odd, I mean less than common, I guess is what I mean.
Well, put it this way, you know, Anonymous with themselves, you can be masked or unmasked. For the purpose of me being a first responder, I don't want to confuse the, I don't want there to be any conflict of interest between Anonymous and my position as a first responder. But they do have a common goal, basically, to say that something's completely wrong with what's going on around us, you know. you know, many anonymous, when I first met with them through web chats, etc., jumped on my story and said, man, that sucks. You know what? A few of us will come down there, and they have come. If you notice, the Guy Fawkes Mass of some of them, and they all share in this, the same general idea that something sucks, and they definitely stood on my side, and I'm proud of that. From an anonymous point of view, really, they don't have like a political stance on anything. They act upon a given idea. It's the ultimate democracy with anonymous. But because my idea was so extreme as a first responder, I mean, they came and helped me out, you know, so I'm kind of like playing devil's advocate with them. But I'm proud that, at least somebody shows that they actually give a damn about my health, and I care about them, because many of them guys can't afford school. They lost their jobs. They can't get a job. Their parents, most of them are very young. Some of them are 16, 17 years old, not even out of high school yet. The parents are working 2 jobs. They're hanging out in the street all night because their parents aren't home. So, of course, they don't care. They become reckless. So, some of the older ones, probably were working, lost their jobs, can't afford to pay mortgages on their house and all that. So they decided to step up as well, whether they wear the mask or not. We're all basically here for the same reasons, for the same goals, whether you're anonymous or not. That we are sick and tired of having to pay through our teeth for everything. They just raised the fares for the Port Authority. $50. Exactly, it's like $15 now. Here in the city, I'm sure the fare is going to go up. Rents are going up. Everything is going up and up and up. And unless you're part of this, I used to be part of the system as a construction worker, as a union man, but because I got sick now, and I am hearing the voices of the people around me, I'm beginning to suspect that there's something seriously wrong with that system in which I worked for. Because even though I went down to the World Trade Center site, which is right there, and tried to help my fellow citizens, I got screwed. Someone who worked for that part of the system got screwed. So now, hearing the voices of the other people around me that are suffering with probably way worse problems than I got, I have to say, hey, you know what, man, maybe something is better on this side than it is on this side. Because on this side, you're trained to be obedient, you're trained to worship your boss, you're trained that you'd hold jobs your whole life, and it's no surprise why most of them get divorced and lose their kids and all that kind of stuff, and most of them are alone. Over here, at least on this side, the people give a damn. They actually care. They care about their futures. Their whole life is not their jobs. They do want to work, but they don't want to become their work like I became my work. Everything about me was construction, plumbing, construction, the boss, and this. And I used to have my family members and my girlfriend, everybody used to tell me, man, is that all you know? Like, I used to bark at people because I, as a young man too, I would tell guys older than me what to go do with them. So I got used to being part of that system. And now being here, sharing all these stories with people and having their hearts pour out, and taking a chance of being arrested and all that kind of stuff, they are fighting a cause I feel is right and just. And I'm proud to stand, at least be one voice amongst many. So it's not just me, it's everybody that's here. And I hope in a few hours from now, this literally triples or quadruples, man. But we definitely need a lot more people here, man. I'm coming from a first responder that, came to the rescue of this city. I'm hoping that anybody that watches this, please, I'm pleading with you, please, at least for a day, 2 days, come down here and support, not just me, but support the people behind me. We are all suffering in our own way, and we really need to make a stand. Something's wrong. Most of you that are sitting at home probably watching this video know that you're probably paying a high rent yourself, you're paying for fuel prices, you're paying a ridiculous electric bill that keeps going up and up, and you're tired of the fares. Something is wrong. You're tired of paying $50 to fill up your tank of, your car with a $50 tank of gas. What's wrong. I know it's wrong, but some things are simply worth fighting for, and I implore you, please come here to where we are in Lower Manhattan and stand by our side.